Mark, hi, good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm in fine spirits. Thank goodness we have sport to get our minds off the mess the world is in. I really mean
Okay,
that.
right.
Thank God you can turn on and watch some competition where you've got a side that you back, or a team that you back, or even a country that you back, and you can get
Okay,
all excited for as long as it takes for that to finish. We had some excitement this weekend. On the track, we came third, the 4 by
right.
400 meters. We came third, and the recorded time with us and the USA was identical. And the losing time between us and the winners, Botswana, was 0.07 of a second. Okay.
I know
It
it's
was kind
amazing.
of an exciting finish in the pouring rain. Now I'll
Right.
tell you something that most people don't know. You know why it was raining? And do you know why Botswana won? Because
Okay.
do you know what pula means in
Rain.
Botswana?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I told you. It's all obvious when you analyze it. Okay, and so that was exciting. Our 4 by 100 guys got another chance at getting into the final. They missed that by point 0.3 of a second. Okay.
Oh
The
my God.
differences are getting photographic, but still
Yes.
exciting. And it was a good time for Africa. We've never
Yes.
sort of come first, second in the 4 by 400. And Kenya won all, male and female, all the long distance running. So, Viva
Yes.
Africa, man. I love that.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
it
no,
was a
no. I
bit
mean,
of
you
good
know what
sport.
was incredible? I mean, it was nice to see South Africa doing well as comparatively. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many events in athletics that
Yeah.
there's something that you will inevitably cheer for. But
Yeah. Well, it's the first time in 8 years we've won a medal there at the World Championships, actually.
oh, really? Okay.
So it was, yeah, no, we haven't done so lucky up to now. But anyway, well done to the guys, and well done, final
Yes.
word on sport, to Griquas. I don't know if you
Okay.
ever heard of Griquas, their rugby
No, I
team,
know they
and
won
believe it,
though.
they won the Currie Cup.
I
And it's
know.
the first
It's
time they've
incredible.
won since 1970. So never give up, Put. Never give up. Okay. Good morning, Tim. What's news?
All right. Let's talk about the obvious thing, which is Helen Zille taking on Johannesburg. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
so what do you think her chances are?
I think her
Uh,
chances are very good.
okay.
I think her chances are very good because, I mean, there's no question about her resolve, and there's no question about her political experience and the capacity to operate in that very bewildering sometimes world.
Right.
But I think she's got the track record. So yeah, I think she's got a chance of getting it. The question is, what do you do when you catch the bus? And here I
Okay.
have some. Yeah, I'm a little bit left field. I think running a city is a very different kettle of fish from leading a country. Okay,
Right.
because running a city is actually, for me, it's a job, not a quest. Okay. You wake up every day, there are things to do, places to go, people to see. Okay. It's not like what is the ideology? Where it's have you got water? Have you got the roads? Have you got healthcare? Have you got all those kinds of things? And so if Helen does win it, and I think she has got a very good chance, I can't see, anyone as an alternative immediately.
Right.
Then I hope she agrees with me and appoints lots of independently minded professional experts to actually do the work. That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah. She
challenge
said.
to
I
you,
mean, she
Helen.
has said that she's going to do that. Just to remind people, in the 2021 local government elections, the ANC got 34% basically,
Mm.
and the DA got 26. So she has to make up some ground there. Um, the sort of joker in the pack, not literally, was Action SA that got
Yeah.
14%. The
Mm.
EFFs is now getting it at a kind of solid 10 or 11% of the vote in Joburg. So it's basically, how those four pan out.
Yeah.
And the question is, we don't know how popular she is in sort of township Joburg. She needs to make up at 3 or 4% to get more than the ANC. But that's,
Yeah.
you do have this fragmentation problem in Joburg that they didn't have in Cape Town. So,
Yeah.
I mean, she's already saying that, that this is a 2-term job at the minimum. And
Yeah.
she is 74, the most,
Careful now,
sort of,
Tim. Yeah. Choose your
Well,
words
she's not
wisely.
popular.
She's experienced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's very
don't you? Yeah.
experienced. Yeah.
Experience. Hello. I'm
But
in
what
that.
I
I'm in
just
that
go back to
circle.
what you were saying a little bit because
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. If you so, what are you saying? It's actually more
So I'm saying
difficult
this.
to
Well,
run a
no,
city
no,
than it is
it's
to run
just
those.
no.
It's
I'm
just
not.
different,
I'm saying it's completely different. Okay.
right?
There's a task. There's a task ahead of you that is politically agnostic. Water has got
Right.
nothing to do with politics. Okay, water has got
Yes.
to be found in a place, taken efficiently to another place, and that has got to be maintained and blah 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 and all that sort of, and it's got to go at the right cost, and you've got to be able to finance it and rebuild it and grow it and all that sort of stuff. That
Right.
doesn't require a politician. It requires engineers and finance experts and
Yes.
water people and purity thing. And so here's the challenge. There are a number
Right.
of challenges. First of all, how do you attract private sector expertise into the civil servants? Okay, because the civil servants' pay is not great. Okay, now everyone
No,
says they're
but
overpaid.
that's
It's
yeah.
well, let me say why it's not great. It's not
Okay.
outcome based. There's no incentive to do better. Everyone's on a
Yes.
fixed package and
Yes.
everyone gets paid regardless of the outcome. Now, if you want to attract some smart guy or lady who's working in a merchant bank with a massive incentive scheme and they've got the possibility of earning gazillions, but if and only if they feed the shareholders well first, those are the people we actually need to extract and bring into the city. Now, you will
Yes.
not do that on a fixed package. I hope they can change whatever they need to do to get up because outcome-based remuneration works for everybody. We have a
Right.
deal, guys.
Yes.
We deliver 100 more than we should. We'll keep 10 and you keep 9. Okay. I mean, you keep 90. And so
Right.
it works. I
Right.
don't think they can do that yet, and I hope they can. Okay,
Right.
that'll be the first thing. And then I think, on the same vein, a little bit, you've got to localize control of some services and things. You've got to own your own city. You've got to have your own police force, in my view. You've got to have your own water authority. You've got to, you've even got to sort of try and get control of your energy transmission and usage and price. And so there are a lot of
Yeah.
things that we have to take away from the
No, for
center
sure.
to manage the
Yeah.
local crisis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Joburg's also complicated because the key functions in the Joburg municipality are actually run by external organizations, like Pick It Up does the rubbish, all of those sorts of
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and you can see in a transition period like this, one of the problems that you face is that everybody's going to be nervous about their jobs, right? Uh,
yeah.
and so, before the changeover takes place, the one thing that they will try and ensure is that they have these contracts that run into the next century. So it's difficult to actually change personnel if you're a newcomer. That's one of the big differences with running a business. If you're running a business, you can select your team,
Well,
but in this case, there's sort of a whole bunch of people who really won't want to move out of their current jobs.
well, then
It's a
I'm
very
afraid
difficult.
we've got more of the same. I mean, that's going to take all kinds
Yeah,
of courage and all kinds of persuasion. But the only solution to that is to say, you guys can all stay.
right.
After 3 months, we're going to check how much more you've made for us, and if you can still pay your way, you can stay again. You got to throw the ball back to the crowd and go, "It's yours. You want to keep
Yes,
your job? Show me the roads that you fixed. Okay, if the roads are
right,
fixed, and if we can charge more because of this and that, then you can pay you. But we can't afford you now. We just simply
right.
can't afford you, and you make it self-solving. And I know that." There are some overrides. There are obviously some social and other virtuous things which need to be catered for in a city,
Right.
but I think that mindset has to prevail. You can't get your job because you're aligned to a political party. That cannot be a license to get a job because the
Yes.
two are
No, she's
completely
made that point for me.
divorced.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
and so
I mean,
I hope she can carry through.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the one thing that she does have, I mean, I don't know her that well, but I know her a little bit. And I think the one thing that she has really running with her is that she's a detail person. She enjoys going into the minute specifics. I think that stands you in good stead in an organization, in a big complex
Yeah,
organization, because
I
it's
don't know
very
her
easy to
either.
kind of yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
either, but someone who likes minutia is also a control freak usually. Okay, and I'm
yeah.
afraid Joburg, yeah. I mean, I've met all of these people in my various careers. Uh, uh,
Mm.
Joburg's too big for one person to handle. You need a team of 6 or 8, okay? And you need to
Yes.
delegate. You need to choose the right person for the right job, and then you need to agree the boundaries of the river, but you can't ride the boat. You've got to
Right.
actually, you got to release it so it can come together. I don't know. It's a fabulous challenge. I would love a piece of it.
Yeah.
And so let's hope she has that mindset, and evidence suggests that she does. So good luck to her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Okay.
others.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I presume the ANC will have to come back with a great candidate. They're going to be an enticing contest.
And to
All
your
right. So
earlier
can we
point,
move
there's
on?
going to be a
Yeah.
coalition of sorts. There's going to be a coalition of sorts. I don't
Yes.
think there's going to be an outright victory. So, if there is a coalition, it's who are you going to sleep with? Who are you going to make things work with? And are you going to have a situation of stability? Or is
Yes.
the executive team going to be left alone to get the job done for at least 18 months? And
Right.
that means they can't be political appointees. They have to be experts that any political party would want.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So that's a
You
bout of kind
asked.
of yeah. Yes, yes.
It's not
There's a
my
bout
fault
of
that you
honesty
asked.
for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to talk about honesty as well. What is your approach to honesty? Are you pro honesty or you're anti honesty? How do you feel on the honesty question?
Well, let me think about that. You want an honest answer, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's written over there in a frame in my study. Okay. There is
Okay.
no alternative to the truth because, first of
Oh,
all, at my age, you can't have to remember what you said. You just have to know what was a fact. Okay. So that's it. No, the truth is the shortcut to happiness, and it is the net present value of dealing with anything. No, I'm a truth guy. I mean, yeah, give me truth 100% up. In fact, one businessman who I had a huge regard for is no longer with us. He
yeah.
said to me in a board meeting once, he said, Mark, we like bad news by email, good news by boat. Okay, that was his famous saying. And I've learnt a lot from adopting that attitude. Yeah. And what is your view on
Let me make
honesty?
it.
Tell me the truth.
Well, well. I was going to say, let me make it a little bit more complicated and say,
Okay.
what is your position on honesty if you're a politician?
Now
Should
you're
you tell
introducing
the truth?
oxymorons here. you know, but that's
Anyway, the reason I'm raising
yeah.
it is because we had a recent interaction with honesty last weekend when President Cyril Ramaphosa said, "You know what? I think the DA municipalities are better run than ours are," and he
Now,
got into a
now
lot of trouble for
let me
that.
ask you whether that was a political statement that went wrong or whether it
Right.
was just honesty. Was it that pure? Okay. Was it just honesty? Or did he throw out some sort of, you know, temptation for analysis that made it? Anyway, yeah, I agree. So no one likes honesty. And
Right.
it does seem to be true, fairly widely true. And you
Right.
might have wanted to say it in a different way. You see, that's where it gets mixed up.
Right.
Why can't you say, you know, why can't you characterize success instead of politicizing it? Why can't you say
Right.
these are the features of the successful running Cape Town or Westmoreland, and these are the enduring features of failure in Johannesburg and so on and so on. And let people draw their own conclusion. And you can refer to leadership, but once you politicize it, no one is talking about what actually happens in Cape Town or Johannesburg. They're just talking about each other again.
Right. I feel like I need to be fair to the president because,
Mm,
as it happens, if you read what he actually said, he wasn't saying that the DA is a better political party. What he was saying
mm.
was that there's no shame. There should be no shame for ANC municipalities to look at the DA municipalities and see what they're doing and make their own judgments. That was basically
Okay,
what
yeah,
he was
fair
what
enough.
he was trying to
Fair.
say. But in politics, it is tricky because, as this guy, I don't know whether you know him, this guy Machiavelli once said, it's important to not necessarily be honest, but you must look honest.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
must
but I mean,
seem like you're being honest.
so having whatever he said and whatever his good intentions, and I take and concur with the point that his intentions were good and he was trying to
Right.
set an example rather than criticize the opposition. But all
Yes.
of his party loyalists, accused as they might be of their own failures, had only
Right.
one recourse, only one reaction, which was to say, how the hell can you talk about the DA? Okay. They
Right.
didn't say, hang on a second, yeah, okay, why don't whatever. No one would sit here and say we should play rugby like the All Blacks, particularly after last weekend. But people might say we could learn something from the style of rugby that. No, yeah, there's another way I thought that you might say it. But yeah, your point is
Right.
well made.
Yeah.
Honesty is the only way. The only
Right.
way, uh, particularly in
Well,
politics.
yes. No, no, no.
Now, let me tell you something honest. Let me tell you
Okay.
something
Go
honest.
ahead. If
The
we're going down
dollar,
that road.
the US
Right.
dollar, has
Yes.
had its worst year in a decade. And
Right.
the stock market keeps going up. Now, Tim, what is happening when the stock market is going up and the reserve currency of the world is going down? The world stock market, let's say a proxy for that is
The
the
S&P.
US,
Right.
S&P, and the dollar is going down. Well, you almost go, obviously, okay,
Okay.
because money is getting cheaper and cheaper if you hold dollars, and so you may as
Right.
well take those dollars and not hold them in cash and put them into the markets. And so the markets are being
Right.
driven by money, which is becoming ever cheaper because of, let's argue that it's politics. And so interesting, ne?
Well, what, in your view, is the cause of the dollar weakness? Because I'm kind of
Uncertainty.
surprised by it. Uncertainty. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Uncertainty
but
and
wouldn't
reckless
uncertainty be
tariff.
a boost for
No,
the
not if they were
global
the
reserve
cause of the
currency?
uncertainty. No.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, there is
Yeah, yeah, there
that.
is that. So when you start tariff wars of the nature that have been started, fundamentally, in my view, in my limited analysis of this thing, when when you've got a trade deficit with the rest of the
Right.
world, but you've got the
Yes.
reserve currency, okay, then you've
Yes.
got a strong currency to buy cheap products, and you should be trading with the trade deficit, and you should not try and bring that back home, okay.
Right.
And so the whole idea of getting to make things more expensively in America as a political driver, rather than using a strong reserve currency to buy things where they're manufactured at the lowest cost of production in the world, is a fundamentally flawed economic policy, okay, which can only be driven by politics and by patriotism and things of that nature. And those things don't always mix very well with economics. And so and also, I mean, if I was the US sitting there, I would go, okay, how many days is this going to last for? How many years? And what will China and all of the other aggrieved India and other players do about this when the term is over? And so there's a,
Yeah. Okay. No, sorry, I understand your points, but but can I just make two
yeah,
counterpoints? The
as
first
long as
is
you're honest.
that okay. Well, I'm honest in the sense that I'm not right, I'm not lying when I
Yeah.
whether it's correct or not is never the but the one thing is I mean I'm very surprised at how little the Trump tariff war has increased U.S. inflation. So I'm just
Hmm.
wondering whether all of that is not just like a verbal bump. You know what I mean? Because
It might be.
Trump keeps backing down and all of that. So that's the one aspect. The other thing is, I also wonder whether the American administration isn't behind the dollar's weakness. Are they not supporting the dollar's weakness? And if that's the case, that's a very new thing because for years America has decided that in order to maintain the dollar's status as the global reserve currency, it has to be a strong currency.
Hmm.
But of course, that prejudices
No,
American exporters. So
yeah.
maybe they've said, well, maybe that being the global reserve currency is not that
No,
important. Uh,
no,
um,
that's a very
anyway,
interesting angle. I mean,
okay,
I hadn't given them that respect. Okay,
okay,
if indeed this whole tariff thing
yeah,
is to seek out a reversal of the trade balance which they've had for so long. Okay, which is to
right,
say we want to become net exporters, we want to manufacture ourselves, therefore we need a weaker currency and we need tariffs against others, and da, da,
yes,
da, then I would be impressed. whether or not
Okay.
that's going to succeed. But you are departing from a fairly sound base, which is that you've got the biggest country and you can import things cheaper than you can make them. Well, keep going,
Right.
you know.
Yes.
Anyway, maybe there's a deep cleverness there that I haven't easily recognized.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Or maybe I'm just
maybe it
imagining
isn't.
a deep weakness that doesn't actually exist. Listen,
Yeah,
we've been gabbing on so much. We're sort of getting to the end of our time, but
yeah.
the
Who cares? Carry on.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, all right. uh, I just wanted to make one other sort of little point about the world, and that
Mm.
is the error that Nurse made, the kind of mathematical error that Nurse
No,
made.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. What
the
was it? Because 54 billion, you'd think someone would notice. Hey, Oaks, listen, I've just looked at this thing. It's like it's like 54 out. 54 what?
right,
54
yes.
billion. Oh, is it a tender? No, no, no. It's a mistake. Hey? No, I'm foxed by this thing, man. How did it get
I think
through?
it's simple. I think it's somebody wanted to pretend that electricity prices weren't going to go up as much as they actually
So
are,
then it wasn't
and
an error. Then it was a something done on purpose. What's your judgment call on that, Tim? Since you're
okay.
full
Well,
of
I don't.
bloody wisdoms and alternatives this morning, do you think someone did it on purpose? Because then it's not a mistake, but
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can make a mistake that big on purpose. I think you can just not do the maths very well. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know.
Tim, let's be honest.
To
Let's
be
end off on an
honest,
honest note. Yeah, let's
yes,
end off
yes,
on an honest. You don't know, okay? You've got
okay,
no. I know
yes.
about. I've got no
Ah,
bloody
then
idea, and I don't even know if 54 is going to be the right number in the end. I don't know.
exactly.
Ends
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to 9, I suppose.
But
Yeah.
I tell you what I
Okay.
do know, though. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
and I'm just putting this out there.
Just saying.
This is.
Yeah. Just saying.
I'm just saying. This is not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No,
That's
it's
what I
not.
know.
No, it's not good. No, because we can scantily afford the before
Yeah.
era price.
Yeah.
Heaven
Exactly.
help us
Exactly.
with the after era price. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers
Cool.
now.
Look after yourselves, everyone. Please comment, like, tell your friends.
And
That's
be honest.
and be honest.
A bit. Well, no, you know.
Yeah, okay. Cheers, cheers.